Hey y'all, it is Shon. Welcome to shon.vibes. We are going to do a narcissist reading today. And unlike the narcissist readings I've done before on the channel, this one is going to be a pick a pile. Now, if you are new to my channel or new to my narcissist readings and you're like, oh wait, what is that? I need more of it in my life. There are two already up on the channel before this one. All of the narcissist readings are timeless readings. The others are not pick a pile. They're single message, but please feel free to, check those out. I will put a link to my playlist of narcissist readings in the description box of this video. So I have predetermined these piles, okay? The first pile is for those of you who feel as though you are dealing with a covert narcissist, either now or in your past. And pile 2 is for those of you who feel as though you are dealing with a grandiose narcissist. Again, either now or in your past. If you think you might be someone who's dealing with multiple narcissists in your life, you know, some industries have a ton of narcissists, some families have several narcissists in them. So if you feel as though you are dealing with multiple narcissists, you might want to watch this entire video, both piles, right? The same is true if you're someone who's not sure if the narcissist you're dealing with is covert or grandiose. Again, feel free to listen to both messages. There might be something in both for you. I feel as though there was something else I wanted to share with you guys around that. I don't. Maybe it'll come up while I do the readings. Or what I mean to say is I don't remember. I know there was something else, but I can't remember what it is right now. So for those who are not familiar with the terms, grandiose narcissist or covert narcissist, quick overview. So the covert narcissist is the person who it's not so obvious that they are narcissistic, that they might have MPD. This is the person who oftentimes can come off like a helper of either society or you specifically, the person who's always doing the most in your family, but it doesn't really feel great, right? It doesn't feel good. This is someone who secretly their reasoning for being so helpful or being so present is to get a feeling of value for themselves. And only that, okay? So all of us have a little bit of, oh, if I do this nice thing, it's going to make me feel good. But these people, they do it specifically for that. They also have other self-centered, self-serving tendencies. They're just not as obviously narcissistic to most people, okay? As the grandiose narcissist. The grandiose narcissist, on the other hand, is that person that's like the stereotypical narcissist that we're all familiar with. Just to give you a illustration of how it is oftentimes portrayed in movies and television, though this is not necessarily the case for every narcissist, grandiose narcissist out there. That's the person who, like, say, imagine like the guy who, you know, he's got that insincere smile and, you know, slick hair, and maybe he's wearing sunglasses as he's leaning against his flashy red car. And as he's talking at you, not to you, he's telling you all the great things about himself and also intimating, if he's not saying outright, how lucky you are that he is talking to you right now. Okay. This person is also operating from a place of trying to get a sense of value, a sense of worth. But one is just more noticeable, more over the top, more obvious because it's been depicted more. There's more that seems to be known about it in the general public. And then the other one is, less of that, right? It's like something's off. Something doesn't feel right when this person is, you know, that compliment didn't really feel like a compliment kind of person. All right. Yeah, a lot of times female narcissists can present as covert over grandiose. Not always, but sometimes. So take a second, get centered. With this one, you don't necessarily have to use your intuition to pick your pile. Again, if you know which of the two you are dealing with, your covert narcissist pile is going to be pile 1 and your grandiose narcissist pile is going to be pile 2. If you are unsure, you may watch both readings. If you have a ton of narcissists in your life, again, feel free to watch both readings, and the timestamps for them are below. I will see you in those readings. Hey, group 1, you guys feel as though you are dealing with a covert narcissist. So I am going to pull on 3 questions regarding this person for you, okay? The first thing that we are going to look at is what made this person like this? What made them like this? All right, so we have the Three of Swords. The second thing we're going to look at is what are they up to right now? What is this person up to right now? Okay, we have the Queen of Cups. I'm actually going to put that right there. And then the third thing that we are going to look at is what you should or should not do about it. What should you do about it, or what should you not do about it? All right, and for that, we have Queen of Wands. I feel like this is quite clear. So let's start with, we're going to start by talking about what made the narcissist this way, the covert narcissist that you're dealing with. And what made them this way is not having access to their emotional life as children, okay? This person possibly grew up in a home where having their feelings was definitely not encouraged. In fact, it was straight out disparaged, right? This person may have been told over and over again that they were just too much. Whatever feeling they were experiencing, whether it was positive or negative, seemed like a burden to their caregivers, whether this was their actual parents or maybe they just strongly got that message in a school environment. It could also be something that is developmental. This might be a person, the narcissist that you're dealing with might be a person who, unfortunately, this does happen, was born without access to those emotions. But I feel like it's more, for the majority of you, it's more the first. All right. And hence the covert narcissism. And let me explain. Because the fact that they weren't given room to process whatever feelings they had, whether positive or negative, these got stuffed down. They got stifled. They got, what's it called? The covert narcissists got cut off from their emotional life. Dissociation, I believe, is the word for it. But, I'm not a psychologist, so you might want to look that up yourself just to be certain. But not having access to their feelings, including, negative emotions, has really taken a toll on this person. And very early in their development, it taught them that it was not safe to feel, that they did not have the right to feel. And in trying to survive, live within that environment where they got this message, they had to disconnect themselves from their emotional life. But what that means is that their most basic need wasn't being met. Their most basic emotional and psychological needs were not met. And they never developed the ability to get those needs met. And so what you find now is a person who feels like they have to operate in secretive ways to try to get those needs met, right? And so this is, again, that person that gives you a gift. They may be like very generous with their money, but it's really so that they can get the thanks times 10, because there are some people who do that in general, but the narcissists, they literally, they know that they're doing it. Some people do that subconsciously. The covert narcissist that you're dealing with, they know that the things that they are doing in order to get some kind of a specific feeling from you that they are special, that they are worthy. This covert narcissist, they're sneaky about their narcissism. They oftentimes might look like they, or present as though they are helping, as though they are caring, as though they are looking out for you. But there's always that underlying motive of what supply do they get from it? What's in it for them? Okay. And now the question of what are they up to now? What is she up to now? What I'm getting is they're trying to teach you not to, or entrain you, I should say, not to trust your own feelings, your own instincts, your own intuition. Some of you guys may have been sharing with the covert narcissist in your life the things that you've been doing to help yourself grow as a person, develop more emotionally, spiritually, psychologically. You may have even shared with them, resources that you have found for yourself, whether it's videos on YouTube or it's books, podcasts, whatever. You're sharing your path of growth with this person because deep down inside, you think this person is on your side. You think they are your friend. But what this person is doing with this information is they are storing that information as ammunition to use against you, okay? And they are very manipulative about it. They are very, very good at hiding their true feelings, their true motives, their true intentions. I would say their true personality, but they don't really have a fully developed actual personality. They just have behaviors that they might repeat that look to the naked eye, look to us as a personality, but what's really going on inside of them is much more empty than that, right? Or much less full, I guess would be a better way for me to say that. So yeah, what they're doing, just be careful, be aware of when they are saying things to you that make you doubt something that you've just shared with them, make you doubt what you, especially if it's new learnings, new teachings, new perspectives, things that when you get that information, it makes you feel good. It makes you feel good about yourself. And then you share it with this person. And they say something to make you doubt this new truth because they benefit from keeping you where you were. They don't want you to grow. Even if it's someone who claims to love you, please know that. Covert narcissism can oftentimes be found in a mother or otherwise maternal figure, someone who comes off as though they are trying to mentor you or help you or grow you. So be aware they don't always have to be female, but someone who comes at you in a nurturing way when you're a full grown fucking adult, that person might be, they might be a narcissist, a covert narcissist. So just know that, because of they're feeling or coming off like they, love you, want what's best for you or looking out for you. I'm so happy for you. That person, they, it might be your first instinct to share with them your inner workings and what's going on, but know that they're using everything you say to try to undermine you and your growth and to keep you down so that they can be up. They don't want you to grow because if you grow, you will surpass them and they don't want you elevated beyond them, not even in your own mind. Okay. And again, this doesn't have to be a family member. This can be somebody at work. It also doesn't have to be that you share with this person what you are experiencing going through. For some of you, that is definitely the case, 100% the case. For others of you, they may be surreptitiously watching you from the side. All right. So this is a person who you, say it's at work and one day, say like in the break room, this is just an example. They come up to you and they say, they bring up to you something that you haven't actually shared with them. But they've got an insight or a wisdom for you on how you should deal with it or how you could best deal with it or what's really going on in this situation for you. You didn't ask them for that advice. You didn't even tell them about the situation, but there they are in your face like you did. Okay. So that's a person who, again, you didn't share that information, but they're still going to use it to try to undermine your growth and to try to get you to doubt your feelings and doubt your intuition. Because, hey, if they don't have access to their feelings, how dare you have access to yours? All right. And then in terms of the question of what you should or should not do about it, excuse me, guys, I have a fire truck that is driving by. I live in a suburb of Los Angeles, and we, in the spring and summer, and it's not quite spring, but it's getting there, we always have fires. And then, of course, as many of you probably know, in the summertime, we have straight out wildfires. It is crazy. Okay. So anyway, getting back to the question of what you should or should not do about it. The first thing is remember your power. You have Queen of Wands here. She is a very powerful, majestic person. Do not let this covert narcissist hold a position of queen in your life in any way. Again, even if it's your damn mother. if you are an adult, which you should be if you're listening to my videos, because I throw the F-bomb around a lot. If you're an adult, you don't need to be mothered anymore. Okay. If you're an adult, you, of course, might sometimes still want to seek out wisdoms from people who have already been successful in the area that you are needing guidance on. So this can be in your personal life or your professional life. But you don't need to be mothered the way you would if you were a child. So even if it's your actual mother, even if it's your big sister who tends to come at you like you're their child, or again, someone in the workplace or a friend who takes on that, oh, I'm going to take care of you energy. It can feel good for like a second, but just know there is a price to pay. So what you are being guided here with your Queen of Wands card is to remember your power, remember your strength, remember you are queen in your own right now. The majority of my viewers are female, but some of you are male. Okay. According to YouTube, the stats are in, and some of you guys are dudes. And, this Queen of Wands and being in your power still pertains to you. It still pertains to you. And if you happen to be male, you might not be, comfortably in touch with the feminine aspects of yourself or your personality, the divine feminine, it's often called. And so because of that, there might be a tendency for you to let someone who comes in with a very feminine, very maternal energy just kind of like take the reins in your life without questioning what their motives are or what the real cost to you may be. And so for you all that, and there might be some ladies who that's also the case, that life has made it so that you are in your masculine energy more than your feminine energy. If you are a person who identifies as not being connected to your feminine side very much, or not at all, then your guidance is definitely to know that that piece of you is there and that you can and should ignite it. And then you'll feel possibly less of a need to let someone else serve that energy to your life, be in that space for your life. If you nurture yourself, if you care for yourself, we talk about self-care a lot. If you do these things, there will be less of a need for you to have someone else, someone who might not have the best motives, come in and, infantilize you, and treat you as though you need taking care of. Someone helping you is a good thing, but you don't need to be taken care of as an adult. All right. Don't parentify this person, and everything about them will invite you to do so. Okay, you guys. So remember your power, listen to yourself, find, ways in which to stay connected to your inner strength. The insights that are in you can be trusted. I'm getting that to say to you. The insights that are in you can be trusted. You don't need this person in your life. If you want them there, that's fine. But if there is any element of need, you need to go ahead and cut that right now so that you can sit on your own throne and be your full self. And for many of you, this covert narcissist, when you start doing that, they'll just go away. Okay. Because since they're not grandiose narcissists, they're not going to necessarily, some might, but they're not going to necessarily come and demand that you explain why you've shifted the dynamic. They're just going to sense that you don't need them in that way anymore. And they're going to find some other little puppy to take care of. Okay. And then there was one other thing that was there around that. What was it? Oh, and then also they will leave too, because you're no longer providing them with the supply that they get of feeling necessary, worthy, important, when you are not looking to them to function in that manner for you anymore, when you're no longer looking to them for guidance. This is a person who might, if they had the ability to, make a really, really, really great cult leader. Yeah, I said it, a cult leader. But the piece that's missing is that they don't want to come off like they are controlling. They are secretly controlling. And so that's why they don't lead a cult. But deep down inside, if they could, if they felt comfortable letting people see who they really are, if they felt comfortable sharing or showing what they were feeling or what was inside, they would 100% run a cult. 100%. All right, you guys, that's what I have for you today. Thank you for being here. Listen, I'm about to do the grandiose narcissist reading. So if you think you have a grandiose narcissist in your life as well, or you want to fortify yourself with information before you meet that grandiose narcissist, you should come and check out that reading too. You guys, I offer relationship readings on my Etsy shop. So if you have an interest in getting a love and relationship reading or a narcissistic relationship reading for any of you who have that situation going on in your life, please check out the links below. It'll show you exactly how to do that. And for the narcissistic relationship reading, if you use discount code NARC1, you will get 15% off your first order. Hey, group 2, welcome to your reading. So you guys are the group that feel as though you might be dealing with a grandiose narcissist, or maybe you're one of those people who feels like you are dealing with both and you just finished listening to the covert narcissist reading, but now you need to find out how to deal with this what's going on with this grandiose narcissist in your life, right? Excuse me. Sorry, guys. I'm sure that was loud in the microphone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull on 3 questions for you today, okay, regarding this person. And the first question that we are going to pull on is, oh man, we got a card already. What made her like this? What made her or him, I should say, she or him, what made she like this? That makes no sense. Hold on. Oh gosh. What made this person, what made the grandiose narcissist like this? Oh, I sound crazy, don't I? All right. And then the second question that we're going to look at today is, what is this person? What is this grandiose narcissist up to right now? What is this grandiose narcissist up to? Ooh, my heart just stopped getting that. Okay. Right now. And then the third thing that we are going to take a look at is what you should or should not do about it. And we have King of Pentacles. So I didn't say out loud what the cards were. I just realized some people might just be listening. So in the question of what made the grandiose narcissist like this, we got Knight of Wands. For the question of what is the grandiose narcissist up to right now, we got the 2 of Cups. And then for the question of what you should or should not do about it, we got the King of Pentacles. So these are the cards that we are getting our answers from, at least for the beginning. If we need to pull more, we will. But let's go ahead and start with what made the grandiose narcissist this way. And the answer is quite simple. A grandiose narcissist. All right. This person had exposure to a grandiose narcissist in their own developmental years. So in their childhood, one or both of their parents was a grandiose narcissist. Okay. I feel as though for the majority of, the people that you all are thinking of today, they definitely had multiple narcissists in their family, multiple grandiose narcissists in their family. So if it wasn't that both parents were grandiose narcissists, there is a strong possibility that one of the parents was, and then there was a sibling that was golden child and had some grandiosity to them, or now as an adult has grown very, very grandiose in their demeanor, behavior, and of course also has the narcissism. So overexposure to multiple grandiose narcissists is what I am getting here as the reason why this grandiose narcissist that you know is the way they are. For some, it might not have happened during their developmental years. It's highly unlikely. Okay. It's highly, highly unlikely that it wasn't that there was exposure to grandiose narcissism in the childhood. There is the possibility that it happened later in life, say maybe the mid-teen years to the teen years to the early adulthood. But especially for it to be NPD specifically, narcissistic personality disorder specifically, it would have been in their developmental years. But dealing with this, and dealing is the wrong word, because for all of them, there was an element of narcissistic abuse there, and element is a kind word. I have a hard time sometimes saying negative things. I want to work on I want to work on the shadow self. I want to do actually a reading on, like totally embracing your shadow self more and letting her come out to play, because I feel like I might need to do that. But anyway, back to you guys in this reading. There was narcissistic abuse in this person's developmental years, okay? And it was quite strong. It was quite painful. And this grandiose narcissist might have shared some of this history with you, right? In fact, it could be the thing that connected you to them in the first place or made you guys feel bonded. They shared their history with you and the pain of that, and you felt for the child that they were. But what I do want to say to you before I move on to the rest of the reading here, they are not a child anymore, okay? So who you are feeling for when you hear about this history that they have with the perpetrator of the narcissistic abuse in their life, the original grandiose narcissists in their life, who you feel for when you hear those things, that person doesn't exist anymore. That child does not exist anymore, okay? What they're up to right now. So y'all, my heart stopped a little bit when I got this card. They are wooing the fuck out of you. Okay. So for some of you, you're in a love bombing phase. Either because it is a brand new relationship and that is the start of narcissistic relationships, is the love bombing phase. If you are not familiar with that term, basically it's the short version is when it feels like, oh, this is the person I've been waiting for in my life. They are my dream come true. Like every need that you think you have emotionally, they are currently actively, intensely meeting that need. And a lot of that is not a lot of it, all of it is because of the fact that you've told them what those needs are and they know exactly how to serve it up to you. Okay. But the thing about the love bombing phase is it does not last. For those of you who have been dealing with this grandiose narcissist for a while, you already know that. You know that the love bombing phase, it fizzles out, and then eventually you get into the devalue and discard phases. For those of you for whom this is new, a new relationship, it may not even be that you're new to dealing with a narcissist, but there's this part of you that's hoping that this time it'll be different. Honey, it's not. It's not. It's not. Okay? It's not going to be different. A narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist. So they do come, there's spectrum. There's a spectrum of, I can't say that right. Let me try that better. They fall on a spectrum. There are different levels of narcissism. There are people who have narcissistic tendencies versus people who have actual narcissistic personality disorder, otherwise known as NPD. So this is true. But when I say a narcissist is a narcissist is a narcissist, what I am meaning is devalue and discard will happen. Period. It will either happen because they learn not to love you anymore. Love, I'm saying it with air quotes, learn not to love you anymore and move on, or they learn not to love you anymore and they stay with you and punish you for the fact that they don't love you anymore, and then eventually come back to the love bombing phase. It is cyclical. Okay. So for those of you who have found yourself in a relationship with a grandiose narcissist that has lasted a long time, it is cyclical, and you know that. If you didn't have the word for it before, if you didn't have the conscious awareness of it before, hearing me say it, you're like, oh shit, Sean is right. That's right. You have experienced this before, where it's love bombing and then it's devalue and discard. Love bombing and then devalue and discard. Okay. So love bombing is them meeting all of your needs, saying all the right things, giving you exactly what you want, either because you've already expressed it to them, or they can sense it off of you because of things that you've said to them about other people. Mostly it's investigative for them, that they have heard, they've learned from you what they need to do, either because you told them directly, like, oh God, I used to make this mistake, y'all. So, when you are in a new relationship and you think you're like Billy Badass and, ain't no guy going to treat me no such and such a way anymore. And Anyway, and so you go into a new scenario, a new situation where you've met a new guy, and you tell them all the things that you're not going to put up with, and what has to happen for somebody to be with me and for somebody to win me and blah, blah. You just give them all the damn intel. And the narcissist, if that's who you are dealing with, and it was for me over and over and over and over again, they're just like, yes, please tell me more. And tell me more. And tell me more. Except they're not coming off that way. They're just staring at you intently, and you feel like, oh, this person's so into me and so they love me so much. Nah, they are studying you and sucking your energy, and they are finding out from you in those moments everything they need to know to win you. And so then the next thing you know, this person is meeting every single one of those needs. They are doing all the things you said are required to be with you, and they are not doing any of the things that you said you are not going to put up with until later. Until later. Because they gonna. Okay? If they haven't yet, they gonna. So in terms of the question of what is the narcissist up to right now, you guys are, if you're not experiencing love bombing phase right now, you are going to. Okay, it is coming very, very soon. It might be the minute you turn off this video, you walk outside and boom, here comes love bomb. Okay, I said outside, but I meant like out of the room that you're in, like into the kitchen or living room. Anyway, so yeah, the grandiose narcissist also really enjoys the love bombing phase, because the grandiose narcissist is the one that tends to feel like they need to be important. Now, all narcissists feel that. And technically, if we're honest, all people feel like they need to be important, right? But the grandiose narcissist needs to look important, and they need to look important to everyone. And they need you to know how important they are. And they need to know that you know how important they are, right? So the love bombing phase gives them a tool for that, or an occasion for that, an event for that. It gives them the opportunity to present you with these roses, the 12 dozen roses, or, if you happen to be a man and it's a woman, it presents her with when I said it's a woman, I meant the grandiose narcissist is a woman. It presents her with an opportunity to, tell you how much she loves, how you make her feel when y'all are in bed together, or whatever the thing is. Like, love bombing phase really, really feels good to the grandiose narcissist. They enjoy it. And so that's why it can also feel like your dream coming true, because it feels like it's good for both of you. But for the grandiose narcissist, a lot of times unconsciously, but not always, it's just a tool to get what they want from you. And so these are the ones where like they really, really enjoy it, and it's just part of the cycle of relationship for them. And then there are the ones that they know what the fuck they're doing. Okay. They know what they're doing, and they are setting out. They may not call it love bombing. Okay. They may not call it that, but they know that they are setting out to win you over, to get something that they want from you. For some of you guys, it's the hoovering phase. So that's when you guys are not in contact anymore. And all of a sudden, this grandiose narcissist who wasn't taking care of your needs is like all in your face or all over your social media, and they're trying to like get you back. Right. And so, hoovering oftentimes comes with love bombing. It comes with love bombing. All right. And so then our third question today was what you should or shouldn't do about it. I typically don't like there's two things I don't like telling people to do. And I say this every time I tell them to do these things. Okay. So, I don't like telling people that they should leave their relationships. And I don't like telling people that they need to pray. I feel like both of those things are so very personal, and where you are in your life is going to dictate for you what you should do. And that's the case with all of these readings, right? Every aspect of this particular reading, all of the readings you find on my channel and anybody else's channel. Take this information that we're sharing with you, filter it through your experience where you are and what's possible for you right now, and make your choices. But I say all of that to say I'm feeling that you need to be in charge of your life again. And a big part of that is in standing alone financially. Okay. Now, some of you might be like, well, I'm already financially independent. What are you even talking about, Shon? This is what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the fact that you need to do what you need to do to move on. And for many of the people, I'm getting the energy that I'm picking up on for a lot of people listening to this right now is that they are financially tied to the narcissist, either because they are living with them already or actually even married to them. And the guidance for you on what you should do about this is you need to it's easier said than done, but you need to earn more. I'm getting specifically earn more money, get more money, earn more money. So for some of you, it's because it is time to move forward. For others of you, I'm getting that there's something that's coming down the pike that you don't necessarily know about yet. And you're going to need more money for dealing with it. Okay. So and I should have said this earlier and I didn't. And please forgive me. If the narcissist you're dealing with is not someone that you're in a love relationship with, but it's like a work relationship or a family member, the love bombing still happens. It just doesn't have a romantic bent to it. Okay. But it's still that they're trying to do all the things that you have expressed that you need emotionally so that they can get on your good side again. And that I'm so sorry that I didn't say that earlier. I hope people haven't clicked off because I missed it. But yes, it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. And in that case, this piece here, earning your own money, earning more. If it's not a romantic situation, if you are not living with the narcissist, it could be that you are constantly receiving financial, what do they call it? Economic outpatient care from the narcissist. If it is your parent, or a family member, like a sibling who happens to make a lot of money, the time has come for you to not have to be connected to them in that way so that they can no longer hurt you with their grandiosity. They may have the tendency of making you feel really bad because they have so much and they can do so much and you can't. But then every once in a while, they'll do something for you and that keeps you bonded to them, right? In a unhealthy way, in a dynamic where it's where they can manipulate you and control you. And then for others of you, this narcissist is at the job. And so the guidance there is for you to find a different job, preferably one where you make more so you can feel more in your power and not necessarily feel as though you have to keep this particular job. So definitely moving on to another job, but just earning more can make you feel stronger. Now, does it always make you feel stronger? Of course not. Of course not. But the sense that I'm getting for your situation right now is to get a little grandiosity of your own. There it is. Okay, this happens. This happens in almost all of my readings where it takes me a second to get there. It's like, what are you trying to say, Wilson? And there it is. Okay. I'm not saying become a narcissist, but part of the dynamic that you have with the grandiose narcissist in your life, whether they're is one or are many, whether they are in your personal life or in your professional life, is a sense that they are king of the mountain and you are not. And your guidance is to get some of that damn king of the mountain energy for yourself. Okay. Get some grandiosity for yourself. That's what that is. So yes, it can, as I already said, come in the form of earning more, but it can also come in the form of letting yourself be flashy more. This is going to serve two purposes. One, it's going to elevate you to you in your own mind, in your own thinking around yourself. Two, it's going to make that damn narcissist go away because they want to be at the top. They want to be the pinnacle. And if you start showing signs of, now they might try to actively pull you down or keep you from rising up, but you don't have to let them. And if it's someone that you don't have a personal relationship with, but it's actually just a professional relationship, a work relationship or even just a friendship, they might just cut you off and move on to hanging out with someone else who can let them feel like they're the most important person, the most impressive person in the room. Okay. All right, you guys, that's what I have for you today. Thank you for being here. Listen, if you think you're dealing with a covert narcissist, also be sure to check out that reading. It was for group 1, not group 2. You guys are group 2. And as I said earlier, there are other narcissist readings here on my channel. So be sure to check those out as well. And finally, I do want to thank you guys for being here. It is always a pleasure to read for you. And the channel is growing because you guys are showing up and you're liking and you're commenting. And so YouTube is pushing it out to more people. So thank you for that. Thank you so very much for helping me grow the channel and also just for being here and letting me read for you. It is always, always an honor.